Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is July 10th. Verlander is calling it a career. The Marlins are the hottest team in baseball. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are you doing today, folks? We are back. And we've got a big episode for you guys here today. If you missed the last one, I ended up only recording it on Sunday. So we still have all of Sunday to go over, as well as the normal series that we've got coming from this week. So with that all being said, let's dive into the series recap. So going back to last weekend, the Twins won 6-1 against the Yankees to take 2 of 3 from them. The Phillies and Royals. The Royals lost the first game but took the next two, 5-2 and then 15-1. They scored a run in every inning. The Royals take 2 of 3 from the Phillies. White Sox and Guardians. The White Sox won on Sunday, 7-6 the final as they split the 4-game set. Tigers and Rangers. The Tigers win it 6-3 on Sunday, taking 2 of 3 from the Rangers. The Rays and Astros. Houston takes a 2-0 victory, taking 2 of 3 from the Rays. Red Sox and Angels. The Red Sox finish off their sweep of the Angels with a 7-5 victory. Blue Jays and Mariners. The Mariners won it 4-0 to take 2 of 3 from the Jays. Marlins and A's. The Marlins with a 9-8 victory as they sweep the A's. Mets and Braves. The Mets won 10-9 on Sunday and then had a Monday game, 7-6 the final, where they won it in 10 as they come back to split the 4-game set versus the Braves. Pirates and Nationals. Pirates take 2 of 3, beating the Nats on Sunday 11-5. Cardinals and Cubs. It's a 6-4 Cubs win as they avoid the sweep as the Cardinals take 2 of 3. Orioles and Reds. The Reds win it 3-2 as they take 2 of 3 from Baltimore. Brewers and D-backs. The Brewers win it 3-2 as they take 2 of 3 from the D-backs. Giants and Rockies. The Rockies with a 7-6 victory on Sunday as they take 2 of 3 from the Giants. And lastly, the Padres and the Dodgers. The Padres finally get a win, 5-2, as they avoid the 4-game sweep. The Dodgers, though, taking 3 of the 4 from the Padres. Let's get into this week of baseball. The Cubs are in Baltimore to take on the Oilers. They score 4 unanswered to come back. They take a 5-2 victory. PCA has a 2-homer day. Michael Conforto, Carson Kelly, Seiya Suzuki all go deep for the Cubs. Tyler O'Neill, a 2-homer day for Baltimore. Pete Alonso, Kobe Mayo going deep as well. The Cubs hold on to a 9-7 victory. And in the last game, Seiya Suzuki homers again. Tyler O'Neill homers again. Baltimore holds on to a 3-2 victory to avoid the sweep. The Yankees and Rays playing a 4-game set for the battle of the AL and the AL East as a whole. Jose Caballero hits a 3-run home run and a solo shot for a 2-homer game. Ben Bryce goes deep as well. The Yankees take the opener 5-1. In Game 2, it's Victor Mesa Jr., Hunter Fiducia, and Yandy Diaz who all go deep for the Rays in a 6-4 victory. Jonathan Aranda gets all 3 RBIs for the Rays in the 3rd game, while pitching shuts down the Yankees 3-0 Tampa. But in the last game, Ben Bryce, a 2-homer game. He homered 4 times in this series. Austin Wells homers as well. It's a 12-4 Yankees win as they split the 4-game set 2 apiece. We got a sock off now. Red Sox and White Sox. Andrew Monasterio, Cedane Rafaela both going deep in an 8-1 Red Sox win. Then Jake Bennett pitches and shuts down the White Sox in a 5-0 Red Sox win. And in the last game, Caleb Durbin hits a 2-run home run, which is just enough to win it, as the Red Sox pitching does its thing once again. 2-1 Red Sox as they sweep the White Sox. Guardians and Twins. After Rhys Hoskins homers, the Twins lock down the Guardians. They score 3 unanswered to come back and win it 3-1. In his Minnesota Twins debut, Alan Rodin is the hero in a tie game in the ninth. He comes up with the game-winning walk-off single. The Twins take 6-5 victory. But in the last game, Gabriel Arias, Chase DeLauder, Patrick Bailey, they all homer for the Guardians, who win it 5-2 to avoid the sweep. A's and Tigers now. Colt Keith goes deep for the Tigers as they score 4 runs in the 6th. Tigers with a 6-2 victory. In Game 2, Jake Rogers, Spencer Torkelson, they do the home run hitting in a 6-1 Tigers win. And in the last game, Jake Rogers homers again. Zach McKinstry goes deep. And after 8 years in the minors, Eduardo Valencia gets a shot in the majors. He comes up for a pinch hit, and he makes the most of it. His first career MLB hit and home run in his first ever career MLB at bat. What a moment for Eduardo Valencia as the Tigers win it 4-1 and sweep the A's. Angels and Rangers now. Justin Verlander and Alejandro Osuna go deep in an 8-3 Texas win. In Game 2, it's all halo. Joe Adell, a 2-homer game. Mike Trout homers in his first game off of the IL. 13-1 Angels the final. And in the last game, Brandon Nimmo, Ezekiel Duran, Justin Verlander all homer for Texas. But the Angels tie it. They score 5 runs in the 7th to come back. The Rangers, though, hold on for the win. Wyatt Langford, the hero in the 9th with the walk-off single for the win. 7-6 Rangers. They take 2 of 3. Mariners and Marlins now. Owen Casey homers for the Finns. The Mariners, though, come back. They take the lead late. However, Heriberto Hernandez homers to tie this one up. We go to extras, where it is the Marlins that win it on a walk-off single from Jacob Marcy as they take the opener 6-5 the final. Then Kyle Stowers hits his 12th home run of the season in Game 2, part of a 2-0 Marlins win. Griffin Conine, he homers in the 3rd game. The Marlins score 4 in the 4th. They win it 8-4 and they sweep the Mariners. Astros at Nationals now. Jose Altuve, Yanier Diaz, Bryce Matthews all go deep for the Astros, while CJ Abrams, Curtis Mead, and James Wood all go deep for the Nationals. James Wood, his home run is a grand slam. The Nationals score 5 in the 3rd, 6 in the 5th. They get 11 unanswered and win it 12-11. What a game that one was. James Wood would homer again in Game 2, as does Jose Altuve, as the Astros hold on to a 6-3 victory. And in the rematch, it's Luis Garcia Jr., CJ Abrams, both of them homering in an 8-2 Nats win as they take the series. Royals and Mets now. The Mets score 3 runs on a Little League inside the park home run that had 3 Royals errors on the play, but fear not, Royals fans. Todd Tolbert, Nick Lofton, but they both go deep. The Royals come back in a crazy back and forth game. They score 7 runs in the 7th and end up winning this one still 16-12 the final. The Mets, though, take the next 2 games. AJ Ewing homers. Mets score 5 in the 8th in a 6-2 victory, and they again score 5 runs in the 3rd game, this time in the 5th inning, including a home run from Tyrone Taylor. 7-3 Mets the final. They take 2 of 3 from the Royals. Braves and Pirates now. It's the Ryan O'Hearn game for the opener. A 3-homer game for Ryan O'Hearn, a grand slam, and 2 3-run home runs for 10 RBIs. Pirates win it 12-4. The Braves come back in Game 2 as Joey Bart homers against one of his former teams. 3-0 Braves, and in the last game, Matt Olson homers. Jim Jarvis hits his first career MLB home run, and with the Braves up 1, Mike Yastrzemski adds to it with a grand slam in the 9th. 10-5 Braves the final. They take 2 of 3 from the Pirates. Phillies and Reds now. Kyle Schwarber homers to cap off a 3-run 3rd inning. The Phillies win it 4-1. And then it's a Reds home run frenzy in Game 2. Sal Stewart goes deep. The Reds hit 4 home runs in the 4th. It started with Noel V. Marte, and then a little bit later, back-to-back home runs. Elliot De La Cruz to Sal Stewart for his 2nd of the game, and then J.J. Bleday wraps up that trio. 11-5 Reds as they even up the series. And in the last game, it's the pitcher's duel in this one, with the only run coming in the 8th on a Justin Crawford single, giving the Phillies the 1-0 lead, or the 1-0 win, and the series win. Brewers and Cardinals are playing 5 games thanks to a doubleheader from May 5th. It starts on Monday with the Brewers down 3. They come back with 4 runs in the 7th to take the lead and hold on to a 4-3 victory. On Tuesday, you have the doubleheader day, so we start with the game from May 5th, where the Brewers come back once again, taking the lead in the 7th on a Yelich double, winning it again 4-3. And then later in the day, that 3rd game of the series, the Brewers scored 7 runs in the 7th, including a Joey Ortiz home run. They win it 10-2. We go to Wednesday, where Jose Furman and Alec Burleson both go deep. The Cards get a win in the series. It's 5-1. And on Thursday, Jake Bauers, Bryce Turang, they both homer as the Brewers dominate St. Louis in St. Louis, winning 4 of the 5 games. That last one, the score of 8-4. Rockies and Dodgers. Now the Rockies come back from down 5 and end up tying it in the 9th with 3 runs in the inning. Both teams score in the 10th, but it is the Dodgers that hang on in the 11th as Dalton Varsho gets the walk-off single for the win. The Dodgers win it 8-7. In the second game, Shohei Ohtani hits his career home run number 300. The Rockies in this one take the lead, scoring 3 runs in the 8th. And with 2 runners on, Jordan Romano gets Ohtani, Pages, and Freeman out to win the game with the winning run on base. What a moment for him, and the Rockies get a 4-3 victory. In the last game, Kyle Carros and Eduardo Julien both go deep for the Rockies, but in a timed game, it's Mookie Betts with the go-ahead single in the 8th. The Dodgers hold on to a 4-3 victory and 2 of 3 from the Rockies. D-backs and Padres now. Max Kepler, Geraldo Perdomo, Nolan Arenado, all homer in an 8-0 D-backs win. In the second game, Jake Cronenworth unloads a go-ahead 3-run home run in the first inning. All the runs in this one were in the first inning. It's a 4-1 Padres win. In Game 3, Luis Campusano homers. The Padres get 5 runs. They score in 5 straight innings. I'm all over the place all of a sudden. It's a 10-4 Padres win. And the fourth and final game of this series, Nolan Arenado homers again. The D-backs win it 3-1, and they split the 4-game set with the Padres 2 apiece. Lastly, you've got the Blue Jays and the Giants. Heliot Ramos has a night, picks up 2 homers and 5 RBIs, while Landon Rope deals against the Blue Jays the 10-1 Giants victory. In the second game, Jonathan Clase, his first home run of the year. The Jays score 5 in the third as they lead themselves to a 9-3 victory. And in the road match, the Blue Jays start with a 5-run first inning, including the first career grand slam for Kazuma Okamoto. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and George Springer go back-to-back in the 9th. Dylan Cease brings a no-hitter into the 9th, but unfortunately can't finish the job. The Blue Jays, though, do. It's a 10-0 victory as the Jays take 2 of 3 from the Giants for your series recap. Nicely timed by me there. Let's get into the game of the week, and we are going to Washington for the Astros and the Nationals. Game 1 was a frenzy, and it starts in the top of the first. Christian Walker picks up an RBI double to get the Astros off and running. Bottom first, though, Curtis Mead evens it up with his own RBI double. It's 1-1. Top second with 2 runners on. Jose Altuve smashes his 9th home run of the season. A 3-run shot puts the Astros up 3. Very next inning, it's Yanyer Diaz, a 2-run shot, his 5th of the season. And the Astros have a 5-run lead, or do they? Because in the bottom of the third, here comes the Nats. Luis Garcia Jr. rips an RBI double for a 6-2. Then Curtis Mead singles for another run, making it 6-3. And then with 2 runners on, CJ Abrams makes this a brand new ball game, his 19th home run of the season. It's a 3-run shot, and all of a sudden it's 6-1. Now it's 6-6. In the 5th inning, the Nats are not done with their big innings. Curtis Mead gets the Nats a lead. His 15th home run of the season puts Nats up 1. Drew Millas then with a sac fly allows another run to come in, and with the bases juiced, it's James Wood, a grand slam. His 24th home run of the season, and all of a sudden, from down 6-1, the Nats are now up 12-6 in an outrageous lead there. Top 6, the Astros pick up 1 on a Braden Shoemake double play. Another run comes in to score. Top 8, Braden Shoemake again with an RBI. He delivers with a double this time, making it 12-8 before Bryce Matthews hits a 3-run home run, his 7th of the season, and all of a sudden the Astros are back in this one. It's a 1-run game. Unfortunately, no more runs would score in this one. The Nats hold on to a 12-11 victory. They come back from down 5, lead it with 11 unanswered. What a victory. What a way to open this series. And of course, the Nats went on to win this series as well. Let's get into the baseball news of it all. And let's start with the home run derby, because throughout the week, we've been getting all of the names who are participating in the Home Run Derby. And I might just add that when I made my predictions a few episodes ago, I think 2 or 3 weeks now, episode 324, I believe, I listed 8 guys I would love to see, and so far we've gotten 2 of the 8, so that is pretty happy for me. As we did know from, I believe, the last episode, or even 2 episodes ago, Junior Caminero was the first person to be added to the Home Run Derby. It is followed with Ben Rice from the New York Yankees. He is joining the Derby. The Royals, Jack Caglione welcomes himself, as well as Jordan Walker from the St. Louis Cardinals. He's having his breakout season after all these years here. He will participate. Wilson Contreras from the Boston Red Sox, he has been added to the Home Run Derby as well. It is a little bit important to note that he did leave the game on Wednesday after fouling a ball off his foot. He did not play yesterday in the Red Sox game against the White Sox, and there's been no move to the IL. I assume that if there is one, that he obviously would not participate in the Home Run Derby, so we may need an 8th guy all of a sudden. But we do have our 6th and 7th being 2 from the Philadelphia Phillies, of course, the host of the All-Star Game this year. It is Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber, so Phillies fans are getting 2 of the players that they'd like. Harper and Schwarber will both be competing. Both have competed in home run derbies in the past. Harper won it in 2018 with the Nationals in Washington when he was with Washington. So maybe he'll win it again when he's on Philly in Philly. So who knows? But those are right now the 7 guys who are partaking in the Home Run Derby. There is still 1 spot available, potentially 2 if Wilson Contreras is unable to compete, if he's not feeling 100%, or if they put him on the IL. I'm assuming they wouldn't want him to partake in the Home Run Derby. But we're for sure going to get 1 more name added to the Home Run Derby. Of course, different format this year, sure to be very exciting. That is going to be on Monday. Yeah, we're basically at the All-Star game right now. And speaking of the All-Star game, let's talk about some of the replacements that are being announced here. Of course, with pitchers who are pitching, throughout this weekend, they obviously won't be able to pitch come the All-Star break on Tuesday, so there's no point in having them on the team. Zach Wheeler voiced his displeasure about that, and I can kind of agree and can kind of concur about it, but unfortunately, it is the way that it works sometimes. As we know, Vladdy decided to opt out of the All-Star game, feeling that he needs to take the rest to ensure his back is ready to go for the second half of the season. Nick Kurtz replaced him as the starting player for that, but someone needed to replace Vladdy overall. And that player is Wilson Contreras, who, as we mentioned, did leave on Wednesday. Not sure if he's injured or not, but regardless, he has been named to the AL All-Star team as a reserve. He basically takes Nick Kurtz's spot on the reserves, while Nick Kurtz takes Vladdy's spot on the starting lineup. So that is that there. Not only do we have Wilson Contreras, but for the NL team, Braxton Ashcraft from your Pittsburgh Pirates, Jesus Luzardo from your Philadelphia Phillies, and Riley O'Brien from your St. Louis Cardinals have all joined the NL All-Star team. They replaced Jacob Misiorowski, Max Meyer, and Paul Skeens on the NL All-Star team based off of pitching and so forth there. So that is unfortunate because obviously Jacob Misiorowski has been the best pitcher in the NL and could probably start the All-Star game, and who knows, but that is what we saw based off of a post on MLB. And not only that, but Justin Verlander was also announced to the AL All-Star team as a Legends pick. So, of course, Rob Manfred, he's been doing this for a while now, I think since 2022 or 23, when Miguel Cabrera and Albert Pujols both made the All-Star break, both when they were retiring that season. They've been doing it where he picks 1 player from the AL and 1 player from the NL to, represent, I believe Bryce Harper was the Legends pick in the NL, which is weird because Bryce Harper is still very much a great ball player and very much, young, I would say. I mean, obviously he's not as young as some of the younger guys, but he's not as old as some of the older guys either. Justin Verlander, though, is a perfect selection for the AL All-Stars. Of course, he is an absolute dog and has been for so long, of course, dealing with a lot of injuries this season. And speaking of those injuries this season, he announced on his Instagram a little note here basically saying he wants to thank the commissioner for the honor of being selected to the All-Star game and the opportunity to attend one of these once again. He talked about how this season has challenged him in ways that he's never experienced before, both physically and mentally, and how he's always wanted to compete at the best level that he expects of himself. And that as long as he was doing that, he would continue to play the game because he wanted the game to tell him when it was time. He didn't want to go out, on when he felt like he could still play and could still help his teams win ball games. But he decided and realized that that time did come and that the plan for Justin Verlander at the end of the 2026 season is to retire. Justin Verlander, in the post there, he had obviously a little written note. Some of the quotes in there: baseball has given me more than I could ever imagined. It taught me discipline, resilience, and the value of continuing to adapt and evolve. He thanked every one of his teammates, coaches, players, clubhouse attendants, and the fans who've been a part of his journey, saying that it's time for the next chapter. But first, he's excited to finish the season the only way he knows how, with everything he's got. Of course, Justin Verlander, so far in 2026, has played one game. He went 3 2/3 with one strikeout. But Justin Verlander is still one of the most iconic pitchers ever of my childhood, of even now as the way I am today. Still, all those years in Detroit, those all-stars there, of course, debuting in 2005. It's time that he spent with Houston from 2017 all the way to 2022, where he had that amazing resurgence after coming back from Tommy John. From there, kind of went to the Mets for a bit before going back to Houston. Ended up on San Francisco last year before now returning to Detroit, where again, so far played one game. Hasn't been a great game, but of course, he is an MVP. He is a 3-time Cy Young Award winner, including a Triple Crown. He is a 9-time All-Star, the World Series MVP, 2 World Series, including an ALCS MVP. And I say a 9-time All-Star back in 2007, 9, 10, 11. Right? 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then again in 18, 19, and 2022. So, of course, this means with his Legends pick here, he is going to be a 10-time All-Star. Justin Verlander, one of the best pitchers. For me, when you think Kershaw, Verlander, and Scherzer. Those have always been the big trio. Kershaw, of course, retiring last year. Verlander looking to make it this year. And Scherzer, although nothing's been announced, he's been dealing with a lot of injuries as well with the Blue Jays. He wanted to come back after such an incredible World Series run for them last year, re-sign with the Blue Jays. But Father Tom might be catching up to him as well. We'll see what the wind takes Scherzer, but we know that Justin Verlander will be calling it a career after this season. So hopefully, he's going to be able to get back and stay healthy for the second half and, kind of do what he wants to do. Maybe help the Tigers, who have been catching a bit of fire recently. If we go through 3 teams that I wanted to mention here: the Miami Marlins, the Boston Red Sox, and the Detroit Tigers. For so long, I mean, we can group these into 2 ways. We can group these with the Red Sox and the Tigers first and foremost, both from the AL. Both of them had high expectations entering the season, both Boston and Detroit, and it hasn't really gone out that way for either team. However, it is still early, and however, the AL has been a cluster of really bad baseball and just getting outplayed by the NL in every regard. So Boston, they're 11 games back from the Rays. The Tigers, they're only 4.5 back from the White Sox and Guardians, who are tied right now in the Central. You look at the wild card: Tigers 3.5 back, Boston 2.5 back. They are, even though they're about 5 to 7 games under 500, both of them are kind of turning their seasons around. The Boston Red Sox currently 8-2 in their last 10. They're on a 6-game winning streak, while the Detroit Tigers are, 8-2 in their last 10 on a 5-game winning streak. So both of them have been playing a really great start to the month here in July. And, we talked about, needing a strong end to June and and a strong start to early July here, because that trade deadline is looming. I mean, the Tigers and the Red Sox are going to be in really interesting positions where, the team is still good. We could buy and we could, turn the season around, or you could sell a guy like, I don't know, Tarek Skubal if you're the Detroit Tigers, and see what you can get away with from that, and exactly what Boston wants to do. So both teams here doing what they've been needing to do, which is win a lot of games in a row. Again, the 5-game winning streak, the 6-game winning streak. Both of these teams within 4 games of the wild card. Like, it is still very much open doors here for some of these AL teams. So the Tigers and Red Sox, good for them. But the main team to focus in on is that Miami Marlins baseball team, who has been the hottest and the best baseball team since June 1st. We talked about how they went 20-6 in the month of June, the first ever 20-win month in Marlins franchise history. And they've started off this month as well, going 6-2, meaning since the start of June 1st, Miami Marlins have gone 26-8. They are right now at the pace to, if this was the start of the season, they would have had 30 wins before they would have had 10 losses probably. Not only that, but they are also on a 6-game winning streak, winning 8, going 8-2 in their last 10. And when you take a look at that NL East, we go back to the beginning of the season. The Braves were running away with the division. They were the only team between the Dodgers, the Cubs / Brewers, the Astros, whoever else was leading the divisions for the AL. All of them had like a game and a half to 3 games between first and second. The Braves had about a 7-game lead over anyone else in the NL East. I think it got up to about almost 10 games at one point. The Phillies, of course, when they fired their manager, Rob Thompson, brought in Don Kelly, they've turned their season around in a big way. But Miami has done that just as much. And now both the Philadelphia Phillies and the Miami Marlins are tied right now for second at 52 and 42. And both of them are 3 games back of the Braves. You look at every other division right now, that is, second, third really overall here. The Braves... 3 games over the Phillies and Marlins. The Brewers have a 7-game lead over the Cubs. The Dodgers have a 14.5-game lead over both the D-backs and Padres, who are tied for second, which is just absurd at this point. The Dodgers have over 60 wins, while no one else in the NL West has over 50. Texas, half a game lead over the Mariners. That division's very close. White Sox and Guardians, they're tied for first. That division's very close. The Rays and Yankees, after splitting their 4-game set, Rays still have a 4-game lead. So still, when we talk about the closest gaps right now between first and second, Guardians and White Sox are tied. So that's first. Rangers, half a game over the Mariners. That's second. And then, Braves, and then the Phillies and Marlins. That's third right now. That's a close race right now that are heating up between these 3 teams. And the Nationals are in fourth. They're 7 games out. They're just 4 games back of them as well. So, or 4 games back of where Miami and Philly sit. So the Nats are still kind of in this. They've been playing a great brand of baseball. They're still 8 games up on the Mets, who are last. This is a very, very weird season, especially when you look at the differences between the NL and the AL as a whole, which we could open up a whole other Pandora's box to talk about all of that. But Miami right now getting hot, and not only that, but they are back in a postseason spot since I believe the first week of April, or the first or second week of April. So really great stuff right now if you are a Marlins fan, and a little bit of hope if you are a Red Sox and a Tigers fan. Let's get into some of the things that happened over the week as well in terms of some milestones and records, in case you missed it in this series recap. Shohei Ohtani, he hit his 300th career home run. Big milestone for him. Bo Bichette hit his 1,000th career hit in baseball. So big ups for Mr. Bo Bichette. As I mentioned, Ryan O'Hearn had a hell of a day with 3 homers and 10 RBIs. He had a grand slam and 2 3-run home runs. And with some really interesting history, given the Pirates, history, he is the first Pirate in their franchise to ever have a 10 RBI day. He had the grand slam for 4, then the 3-run home run for 7, and then the other 3-run home run made it 10. Really incredible stuff for Ryan O'Hearn, helping out Paul Skeens get himself a win. Pirates still trying to stay in the hunt of things just a little bit. They've been battling kind of at 500 for a little bit. Which is pretty good at this point from the Pirates' history recently, but still 5 games back of a wild card. They have work to do. And some other history that happened, Kansas City Royals, Tyler Tolbert, he tied a crazy MLB record with consecutive plate appearances with a hit. He had 12 straight hits across plate appearances, did not walk, did not get out, did nothing but hit. He had some singles, he had some doubles, he had some home runs as well. The MLB record since I believe obviously the modern era there in like 1918 or whatever. He tied the Tigers' Walt Dropo in 1952, where he went 12 straight plate appearances with a hit. Tyler Tolbert makes that history, joins that history, tied it, did not get to 13, unfortunately, but still some crazy history there for him and the Kansas City Royals. So cool stuff. Overall, that is all the stuff that happened this week across the baseball world. So that brings us to now our injury updates and some players who are landing on the IL just before the All-Star break here. Brewers losing Brandon Woodruff on the 15-day IL with a shoulder inflammation. Unfortunately for the Twins, Byron Buxton's time has come on the IL. 10-day stint with a strained hip. We'll see how quickly he'll be able to heal. Martin Perez on the 15-day IL with a forearm contusion. Ranger Suarez from Boston, 15-day IL with a strained groin. Owen Casey from the Marlins, 10-day IL with a strained calf. And then Connor Griffin, one of the rookies, one of the amazing rookies from this amazing rookie class. He'll end up on the 10-day IL for the Pirates. He has a torn finger tendon. He is expected to miss 8 to 10 weeks, which unfortunately will probably end his case for any chance at an NL Rookie of the Year. And hopefully he can feel better and, help the Pirates out maybe in the end of the season kind of stretch if they are in the postseason hunt. I mean, that would be pretty cool for him. But those are the injury updates from the week here. And now that brings us to our outstanding performances from the week here, as well as some on Sunday. This is going to be, I think, probably one of the longest lists that we have. So buckle up because I'm about to say a bunch of letters, numbers, and names. Starting off with Joe Ryan, who went 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, a walk, and 9 strikeouts. Emerson Hancock from the Mariners, 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. Yuri Perez, 7 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, 8 Ks. He was perfect. Cam Slittler, 8 innings, 4 hits, a run, no walks, and 8 Ks. Landon Rope, 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 5 Ks. Matthew Boyd, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts there. Peyton Tolley from Boston, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, and 6 Ks. Taj Bradley with the Twins, really figuring it out recently here. 7 innings, 3 hits, a run, no walks, and 10 strikeouts. How about Zach Wheeler? 7 innings, 4 hits, a run, no walks, 14 strikeouts. I'm pretty sure that either tied his career high or it is his new career high for strikeouts. 14 in a game. How about that? Robert Gasser from the Brewers, 7 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 4 Ks. Justin Robleski, 7 innings, 6 hits, a run, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. Shane McClanahan, 6 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. Jake Bennett, 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, a walk, and 4 Ks. Foster Griffin continues his breakout with the Nationals, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, no walks, 9 Ks. I feel like he's been on this list quite a lot this year. Good for Foster, good for him. Jared Jones, another pitcher that was through a perfect game, 6 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 8 Ks. He was also pulled. Dylan Cease was not pulled until his no-hitter was over, but he went 8 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Incredible stuff there. Gavin Williams, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 11 strikeouts. Framber Valdez, 7 innings, 3 hits, a run, no walks, 9 Ks. Jesus Luzardo dominated, 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Brady Singer, 7 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 5 Ks. And lastly, Merrill Kelly from your Diamondbacks, 7 innings, 3 hits, a run, 3 walks, and 6 Ks. Those are all the outstanding performances from the week plus Sunday. And that brings us now to our stat leaderboard. And yes, there is actually some change going down this time around. Otto Lopez had a great week. His average rises to 345, still leads the majors, as well as hits 127, which happens to be a new Marlins franchise record for hits before the All-Star break. So great stuff there from Otto Lopez. He's Canadian. Kyle Schwarber, he's up to 32 home runs after getting 2 this week. RBIs, it is no longer Nick Kurtz. Jordan Walker takes his place. He's up to 73 RBIs. Meanwhile, James Wood still leads in runs up to 85. I feel like he's going to just lead in runs for the rest of the season. I think he's up by like 15 or 20 on whoever's in second. It's an outstanding stuff there from James Wood, who also happens to lead in walks now. Again, Nick Kurtz losing out on both RBIs and walks. James Wood up to 77 walks and leads the league there. Nazmi Nunez still leads the league, getting one stolen base each week since I think we got to 30. So we got 30, now 31, now 32. Now it is 33 stolen bases for him, still leading there. Yordan Alvarez still leads in OPS, although it did drop quite a bit. He's down to 1.030. That is Alvarez's OPS. Still leads in MLB. For wins, Aaron Ashby still at 12 wins, still leads the league. Jacob Mizrowski's ERA did go up, but it is still the best in baseball, up to 1.62. Of course, still leading in strikeouts as well, 167. Can he get to 300 strikeouts? Probably, as long as he can stay healthy. Kate Smith still leaves in saves. He picked up one this week, so he's up to 27. So 2 changes there. Nick Kurtz losing out on RBIs and walks, but everything else just means numbers change. That is your stat leaderboard. Which now brings us to our upcoming series for the weekend here. And what's big about this weekend? It's the last series before the All-Star break. And what are the teams facing? Well, the Mariners are in Tampa Bay to take on the Rays. The Royals, are in Baltimore to take on the Oilers. Phillies at Tigers. Of course, Tigers on a hot streak right now. Angels at Twins. A's at White Sox. The A's have lost 6 straight. They've been swept twice now. They are really falling away from the AL West here. They need to figure it out. White Sox just got swept by Boston. They need to come back as well. So that's a big series there. You got the battle of the Houston teams. You got the Astros and the Rangers. Texas going at it there. Guardians at Marlins. Marlins trying to stay as the hottest team in baseball and continue their 6-game winning streak. The Yankees will take on the Nationals. The Red Sox taking on the Mets. Of course, they're on a hot streak as well. We mentioned the Red Sox, Tigers, and Marlins. The Braves will get the Cardinals. Brewers will take on the Pirates, while the Cubs take on the Reds. So a little bit of an NL Central battle there. The Rockies and Giants will end up in a 4-game set, while the Diamondbacks will take on the Dodgers, trying to tap into that 14.5-game lead that the Dodgers have. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays will conclude their Western road trip with a trip down to San Diego. That is what is being said right now for the upcoming series, the last series before the All-Star break. And that brings us to our playoff predictor. If the baseball season ended today, who is going to win it all in the AL? The Mariners are your 6th seed. They would be taking on the Rangers in the 3 seed. Little AL West battle there. Guardians in the 5 seed take on the Yankees in the 4 seed. We've got some upsets though. Mariners take down the Rangers. Guardians take down the Yankees. So your ALDS matchups are the Mariners against the White Sox, who are the 2 seed, while the Guardians take on the Rays, who are the 1 seed. And the 5 and 6 seed continue to roll. We've got the Mariners beating the White Sox, Guardians beating the Rays. So you have the Mariners, who are the 6 seed, the Guardians in the 5 seed. That's your ALCS right now. And it is the Cleveland Guardians that beat the Mariners. They head to the World Series. On the NL side of things, welcome back the Miami Marlins to the postseason picture. They are in the 6th seed. They would take on the Braves in the 3 seed. Little NL East battle there. While the other NL East team, the Philadelphia Phillies, are your 5 seed. They take on the Cubs, who are the 4 seed. The Cubs get the Phillies, while the Marlins upset the Braves. They head to the NLDS matchups. The Marlins get the Brewers, who are the 2 seed, while the Cubs get the Dodgers, who are the 1 seed. Marlins upset the Brewers. Dodgers handle their business against the Cubs. Your NLCS matchup is your Miami Marlins and the Los Angeles Dodgers. This is where the Cinderella run ends for Miami as the Dodgers beat them. They head to the World Series, where they have a matchup against the Guardians versus the Dodgers, and it is your Cleveland Guardians that would be your 2026 World Series champions if the season ended today. That is what the playoff predictor predicts here, and that ends our episode here today. Episode 329 in the books. We're closing in on episode 330 course, that would be on Monday, 3:33. That's going to be a special one as well here. So yeah, we've got some fun episodes coming up for you. We've got one last series before the All-Star break will happen on Monday. And then the All-Star break, we'll get a little week off here. We'll come back, though, talk about the All-Star break on Friday, and then go from there because it will be trade deadline, trade rumor talk, all that fun stuff to wrap up the month of July. So stay tuned for all of that and more. Thank you, everybody, so much. And I will see you on Monday.